Here's something really interesting. Doctors are going to try to save the lives of 10 patients that come in with either knife or gunshot wounds by placing them into something that is close to a state of suspended animation, buying them time to fix the injuries. They would be technically, according to some of the doctors, neither dead or alive. They would be cooled down and placed in suspended animation in the next month. And they actually have a team on call at UPMC Presbyterian Hospital in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, to perform an operation which is going to give doctors time to repair injuries that would otherwise be lethal. Samuel Tischerman, who's a spokesperson, a surgeon at the hospital, says, "We are suspending life, but we don't like to call it suspended animation because it sounds like science fiction, so we call it emergency preservation and resuscitation." The technique actually involves replacing all of the patient's blood with a cold saline solution, which rapidly cools the body and almost brings all cellular activity to a stop. They say if a patient comes to us 2 hours after dying, you can't bring them back to life. But if they're in the process of dying and you suspend them, you have a chance to bring them back to life after the structural problems have been fixed. That's according to Peter Ree, a surgeon at the University of Arizona in Tucson. I think he actually was involved, I recognize his name, in Gabrielle Gifford's treatment after she was shot in Arizona. The benefits of cooling the body or inducing hyperthermia have been known for a really long time, but this is taking that really to the next level. And they tested this with a pig's heart, where they caused a massive hemorrhage in a pig's heart, then cooled the pig with this same technique, fixed the problem in the heart, and then the pig naturally came back to life, or the heart started beating again. They're not sure if with humans you would need to jumpstart the heart via defibrillation or not. You wouldn't. I kind of take issue, Lewis, with whether you would really be between life and death or dead, right? I mean, if you're clinically dead, that is one thing, if there is no brain and heart activity. So in that sense, you are temporarily dead and then could be brought back to life. But by some definitions of dead, death is the permanent ending of vital processes in the tissue or cells. So by that definition, if you can come back from it, it's not really death because it clearly wasn't permanent, right?
Yeah, it's funny because I think whether or not a person is dead ultimately comes down to whether or not they are pronounced dead by a doctor at the scene, you know?
As we see many times, they can mess that determination up both ways. And we've seen it happening. So we're going to follow this. This is very, very interesting. Cooling people down, suspending them, and then bringing them back. Very interesting.